social media family, to the melanated people who grew up in the western states, in the eastern states of USA, and you never had to experience racism and colorism of the South, consider yourself lucky, man. Consider yourself that you melanated people who grew up out in the western states and eastern states, you had fun things to do every day. You had fun events to do with vibrant people every day. Unlike in the South, like places like Louisiana, Georgia, Florida, like all these racist ass colorist southern states, melanated people who grew up in the southern states, they didn't have the fucking fun luxury and the fun resources and vibrant people like you melanated people had out in the western states and the eastern states. So you melanated people who grew up out in California, your asses were lucky. You grew up in Nevada, your asses were lucky. You didn't have to deal with racist ass people, colorist people. You didn't have to like be living to avoid people and stay in a house, because the South is known. The southern states was so damn hateful, man. Melanated people literally have to stay inside the house. I know from experience, because the southern states forced me to be a homebody. The southern states forced me to be a homebody, because I'm a person who would just naturally like to go out and actually connect with people that's like me, bro. But the southern states is so damn racist and so damn colorism. You can't do that out here. You can't do that out in the southern states. Whatever you do in California, whatever you do in New York, you cannot do it in the southern states, because people is not as intelligent as they are in the eastern and western states. They're not. There's so many unintelligent, uneducated white folks, all them damn European racist fuckers out in damn South. They're not as educated as these damn so-called vibrant people out in the eastern places in the western states of USA. They're just not, bro. And don't get me started about melanated skin color people, because melanated people in the South, they're nothing like the melanated people out in the East. They're nothing like them. They're nothing like the melanated people out in the western states. Those melanated people out in the western states, they are nothing like the melanated people down south. We know why. We seen it every day, man. And I'm gonna tell you right now, like me for example, from the way that I explain things, you already get right off the bat that a melanated person like me was supposed to be out east or be out west. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, like a lot of this racism and colorism that happens down south, this shit is mad lame, is mad corny. Like a lot of these racist ass European pilgrims and patriots and fucking Yankees, they be drawling out there. Them uneducated melanated people who be backstabbing their own people down south, they be drawling out there. This shit is mad lame, mad corny, man. And like melanated people that grew up out in the western states, in the eastern states, man, you all are so damn lucky, because you get to have so many mad, vibrant opportunities to be able to do fun things with vibrant people, and you actually making history. You actually making fun memories with vibrant people out in the eastern states and the western states, man. So for a lot of you melanated people who's trying to leave the eastern states and leave the western states, like don't come to the South. You're gonna lose everything. A lot of you melanated people who grew up in the western states and grew up in the eastern states of USA, you had all the loving people around you. You're gonna lose all of that if you go down south. It's too much colorism in the South. It's too much racism in the South. For all you melanated people who be loving a lot of these white women and white men, you're gonna lose all that when you come to this racist ass South, because the white women and the white men are not the same bro, let me tell you something. The white women and white men down south are racist as fuck. Like all these compassionate European white women and European white men up east and up west, they're more compassionate to melanated people than these fucking European white folks down south is. The European white folks down south, they be fucking hateful towards melanated people. I know from experience. Like, let me tell you this. When I was out in Rhode Island, the European white folks, they showed me love. But European white folks down in Louisiana, they didn't show me no love, man. It was fucking racist as fuck. You know? So white people is not the fucking same in the eastern states as they are in the southern states. Like, think about it. So, like, for you melanated people that be hooking up with white men and white women, don't move to the south. Keep your asses all the way in the east, where you're getting all this love from. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Like, bro, this shit. The South is just not it for melanated people, man. For a lot of melanated people who be talking about, oh, I want to come to Florida, I want to come to Georgia, I want to come to Louisiana. Like, why would you want to come to a racist ass place? Why would you want to come to a place where melanated people that's spiritually awake get so much colorism hate from these uneducated melanated people? Like, bro, there's so many spiritually awake melanated people that's trying so hard to leave the southern states. Like, the South is just not for melanated people at all, man. Why you think a lot of Africans and Caribbean folks, they migrate, when they did migrate to the USA, where did they go? They migrated to the east and the western states because it's not as much racism and colorism as it is in the southern states. My brothers and sisters, like I told y'all, they didn't have to experience racism and colorism because they was in California, a place where there's a lot of diversity. There's no diversity in the South. It's a bunch of racism and colorism. I guarantee you, if I had grew up in New Jersey, if I had grew up in Rhode Island, if I had grew up in Oregon or California or Nevada, I would never have to experience colorism from hateful ass melanated people down south. I never had to experience racism from racist ass European white folks. Like, bro, like the South is so full of fucking Yankee land, Patriot land, Pilgrim land. Like, that shit is not it for melanated people, man. It's not it at all, man. It's not it. It's not it at all, man. You know what's crazy? I got cousins. I have melanated cousins who had brains to leave the South alone and just take themselves back, just take themselves all the way up west or all the way up east because they knew the South was racist as fuck, colorist as fuck. Like, man, if you're a melanated person, if you was to come down south right now, if you was to come to a southern state right now, you're gonna deal with a lot of racism and colorism. I'm gonna tell you that's a guarantee. So you might as well stay away from the South. The South might as well just be left to these damn European Pilgrim, Patriots, and Yankees and shit. Cause this shit ain't it for no melanated Africans, melanated Caribbeans. The South is not it for it. Why do you think a lot of melanated people who was birthed in the South, they act like fucking Pilgrims, act like fucking Patriots, act like Yankees, act like some fucking colonizers, being out of their element? Because the damn southern states, man. Don't get me started on Washington, D.C. We all know Washington, D.C. is just like the South because Washington, D.C. is the South. It's racist as fuck. Washington, D.C. is white supremacy, racist as fuck, colorist as fuck. Melanated people out in the eastern and western states that have vibrant people, y'all lucky. Don't come to the South and ruin and lose all that.